Yeah, that'd be great.
What do you mean announced? You got it Thursday. He wasn't here Thursday.
I'll be able to squeeze in right there, I'm probably.
You may be fine.
You're welcome to stand in front of me. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
No,
See or do you need me to Google it?
their camera for live streaming is up there. This is my setup.
Apparently Olivia and I don't pass That's bad.
I've been good. How about you? Not at all. Not at all.
No,
No, he isn't yet.
Figured out that I'd wait for you, we'll be right behind you. Mark, everybody else.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Please rise for the pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing on tonight's agenda is a resolution of condolence for Eugene Mabey. Whereas the city of DuBois was saddened to learn of the death of our former patrolman, code enforcement, health officer, and exemplary citizen Eugene R. Mabey on August 4th, 2023. Whereas Eugene R. Mabey served in various positions from October 14th, 1957 until November 28th, 1978, filling these important positions with distinction and advantage to the taxpayers of the city of DuBois. Always conscious to the highest degree in these positions of trust, moved only by the best interest of his fellow citizens. Now therefore, be it resolved by the governing body, the council assembled this 14th day of August, 2023, that expresses deepest regret and sorrow at the loss of Eugene R. Mabey, hereby officially extend an expression of profound sympathy to his family for their personal loss. Furthermore, be it resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and a copy thereof be forwarded to the family of Eugene R. Mabey. Now therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of DuBois hereby certify that the foregoing is true and correct copy of the resolution duly adopted by the majority vote of the DuBois City Council at a regular meeting held August 14, 2023. And said resolution has been recorded in the minutes of the city council and remain in effect as of this date. In witness whereof, we set our hands and cause the official seal of the city of DuBois, Pennsylvania, to be affixed this 14th day of August, 2023. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve the resolution of condolence for Eugene R. Mabey.
Second.
Motion on the floor properly second to approve the resolution of condolence for Eugene R. Mabey. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akaba.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Approval of minutes. First public hearing, 2023 CDBG funds. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion on the floor properly second to approve the minutes for the first public hearing, 2023 CDBG. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akaba.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. City Council meeting minutes, July 24, 2023. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the City Council meeting minutes, July 24th, 2023. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Deeds.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. And finally, the work session meeting minutes, August 10th, 2023. Council's wishes.
I'll make that motion. I was the only one here.
I'll second that motion.
I forgot. We have a meeting.
Okay, any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Deeds.
Abstain.
Bernardo.
Abstain.
Achenbaugh.
Abstain, I was not here or able to follow.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Registry of invoices as presented. The auto draft was $38,733.86, general fund $265,41.47. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the registry of invoices as presented. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Deeds.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Public comments. Please keep in mind 3 minutes. Please, I really appreciate the number of people we have here tonight. We don't have to repeat questions over and over and over again. Yeah, but I mean, you have to stand up and.
Yeah, if we can get closer to Bobby, she's been having trouble getting the recording out and stuff, so.
Okay, Jen, you're here on first.
Jennifer Jackson. I had this great speech planned, but as things came to light today, I realized council is going to do what they want today and tonight and pay out Mr. Simplicio. I just wondered if you've ever watched the movie A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, and Tom Cruise is barraging him with questions, and Cruise replies, "I want the truth." And Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth." Well, the citizens of DuBois deserve the truth. We can handle it. We have had millions of dollars spent frivolously. We can't financially maintain what we have. Mr. Simplicio has grossly mismanaged the funds of this city, and we are now going to pay the price, or should I say come January when the new council is in there. This has all been a convoluted shell game, robbing Peter to pay Paul. As of Friday, we did not have the funds to make our yearly obligation to the city workers' pension fund. Let's also not forget about the refinancing of loans. Where did that extra money go? Diane, Jim, Eddie, Shane, you go ahead and pay Mr. Simplicio, but be aware that we as individuals can sue. And the city will not pay a dime towards your legal fees come the first of the year. Citizens of DuBois, you elected me to fight for this city, and I am tonight. And I will continue to do so until you ask me not to. I call a spade a spade. I'm not like these people on council sitting up there. I hold myself and everyone accountable. I am not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the citizens of DuBois. I leave you with this quote: "A man who doesn't know the truth is an idiot, but a man who knows the truth and calls it a lie is a crook." Galileo. Thank you.
Your response from the mayor.
Wow, question if I may. So I know it wasn't that long ago the meeting, that we had everything there, that everything was in line for the budget for the rest of 2023. So how can all those statements be made that we don't have money for the pension fund? I don't know where you're getting your information. That was never provided to me or probably a lot of us up here on council. So if you have something to share, that information that you got that we don't have, I don't know why we would not have had that information presented to us. That's my thought.
So it's a balanced budget.
Yeah, that's, right now we have a balance.
Was it a balanced budget?
It's always been a balance budget.
It's not bad.
On Friday was balanced?
No. Has it always been a balanced budget? Is there a line item in there on the sewer and water fund?
Yes, those funds are counted.
Was there a line item on there about the, what do I wanna say? You're drawing 4.8 million from the water and sewer fund. What does it bring in?
Each.
Each.
1.8 each.
Each. What does it bring in?
Not that much.
That's
I
right.
don't have the figure, but it doesn't bring that in.
So it's not balanced.
So it's not a balanced budget.
Right.
I wouldn't even call it a budget. It's a Mr. Simplesio shit show. He just threw things together.
Thank you, Pat.
And it always worked out because he found money wherever he could.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
And that's what we did for this budget.
He didn't need it.
Thank
Wait a
you.
minute, Mayor. She has the floor right now,
Yep.
and you made it very clear about anybody speaking up.
I was just, Jim, I was asking.
Yeah.
Or,
But-
so that was just my speech. Thank you.
So with that information, Pat, you've never shared that with any of us, or anything like that, for something that was uncovered that we know.
You guys have been looking at that budget for 15 years.
Okay, but we've had a balanced budget that all these projects, never raised taxes in 15 years.
We didn't have to raise taxes because Herman refinanced loans to get money to pay the bills. If you take a loan that was $10 million, I don't know, $10 million, after it was paid for $5 million, he would refinance it, take the $5 million and use it for your budget.
Right.
That is not a balanced budget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Well, and that's, again, that's your opinion.
No.
My opinion is, when I looked at the
Financial, CPA, somebody like that.
but when I looked at the budget, okay, there wasn't even an actual, a budgeted to actual number and a percentage of where you're at. End of June, you should be 50% on everything. I asked for that and it was given to me. I don't know how you ever even look at a budget, how you can read it.
Any other comments? Yes, sir. Bill Jones.
Nobody else?
Well, I don't have a speech prepared, I'm sorry. But in the line of balancing budgets and so forth, recently you sold a amount of timber off the watershed that were so dear and near to protect, to help pay for funds, let's say 2 months ago when I was at the council meeting, well, the funds from the timber sales helped us balance the budget for that month. I was there on Saturday night when we got that torrential downpour, and there was a river of mud that went across whatever the name of that road is, I'll think of it, the Reservoir Road.
7 Mile Road.
Pardon?
7 Mile Road.
Is that a 7 Mile Road once it's split there? There was a river of mud coming off that new cutting. And that's just what trees do. They help protect the watershed. They help protect the forests. They help protect the growth. I don't care if the trees are rotting where they're standing. They're still protecting the soil and help keeping it in place. And true, that was a substantial rainfall we got. I heard it was half to 3/4 of an inch in less than an hour. But still, we're just raping the land for a few pennies. The council has mentioned previously, we have to protect our dear water resource. I've flown my drone over the reservoir recently, and it's filled with silt and sediment. There's just a channel down through the middle. The rest of it you can see is clearly filled with the sediment from the streams up above. And I think you really need to consider that the next time you're going to try and sell watershed timber to help balance the budget. Is it worth it? I don't think so. And my second comment is, you had a council meeting with only you present?
Oh, no, it was a work session.
The work, well, it doesn't matter. You had a meeting with one person present. What's that all about?
The mayor was
Two people.
present.
Don't you need to have 7 to have a quorum?
First of all, there's only 5 on council.
Probably only need 3 for the
Only
quorum.
need 3 for a quorum? Well, then you made the quorum.
It wasn't really a meeting, we didn't vote on it.
They didn't make the quorum.
Because he doesn't vote.
Yeah, there was no
They didn't vote
motion.
on it.
Well, and there should have been. So, I mean, you walked in, there was no meeting, you should have, why waste your time? Just walk away. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Let me respond first, let me jump in. Bill, that was a scheduled timber cut, it wasn't just pulled out of the air. Okay, we have a forester that manages our timber property. This was scheduled, it actually was done a year later than what we really originally scheduled. So.
Well, you didn't do it as an emergency,
No, we did not.
You didn't do it as an emergency, we need money kind of thing, and I can appreciate that.
But you said that.
But because that's what it looked like. But I'm still saying, yeah, it looked like we sold timber to balance the budget. That was said at a meeting by this fellow.
Oh, no. No, I did not say we sold timber to balance the budget.
No, you said you sold timber and it helped balance the budget. You said something to that effect. And I don't care.
It was budgeted at $300,000.
Okay,
It came in at $450,000. So we had additional funds for our budget.
and I don't care. I mean, you're doing what you're doing. I just want to say, we need to protect the environment around the watershed.
That is
Why
right.
cut all these trees down?
And that's why we have a
For a few
forester.
dollars. And foresters care about the trees, and yeah, this tree's gonna rot and it'll be worthless in 10 years, we need to cut it down now. Doesn't care about the undergrowth and all the erosion that's gonna take place and so forth. You should have been out there. It just looked like those California things, it was just mud going across the road, mud.
No, it's exactly right. We do it by recommendation of our forest.
I do have a question though. I noticed that it was done like what I would call clear cut. I mean, everything was cut down. And I thought, to be conservative, that you would select cut trees and leave some standing to grow for later. I mean, it was down.
Obviously, I'm not, and I'm sure the rest of the council is not an expert at that, so we take
I'm not either.
the
It just looks
recommendation
like-
of a professional
Yeah.
forester.
Okay, moving on. Yes, Bev.
Deb Kurtz, Rainbow Drive, DuBois. I have a question on how you feel about our police wearing cameras. And the reason I ask is I heard on TV that the state police are going to start that. I was talking to our district attorney, and he said Clearfield and Sandy, and he named some others, but I couldn't remember what he said, already do wear them. But we're the biggest area of people, and our police do not wear cameras. And I'm wondering, why not? And what's your plan for cameras for the police?
I'm gonna let the chief answer that, because we are in the process of doing that exact same, right? We're in the process of doing it right now.
We were in the process, and we had received a grant a year ago, not quite a year ago, for cameras, and the cameras were purchased, or at least ordered, and then they come back and cut that out of the grant. Now I gotta find a way to fit it into the budget to get the cameras or find another grant.
Wayne, how much is a camera?
Off the top of my head, I really don't.
I don't know. There were a couple of things that were taken out. Tasers were one of them. We found another source for the taser money just last month. And I don't know.
I
how much
think
this
the
month.
cameras are extremely important,
I agree, I do agree with that.
and that you should be finding a way to purchase them.
I'd like to comment. Bev, you just made the statement that you talked with Mr. Sayers. Do you realize that our police department and the drug task force brings in a huge amount of money that's given to the district attorney? That money that they confiscate, and Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, but you and I've had this conversation. You bring in a lot of money from the drug busts. And that goes right to Mr. Sayers, goes to the county. What I'm asking you and other people to do, it's one thing to talk with Mr. Sayers, but ask him why he isn't putting that money back to the city of DuBois.
That's your job.
No,
Not mine.
Yeah.
You're a citizen, and everybody has that job. Everybody as a citizen has that job, to be asking questions.
Okay. Mr. Yelkin.
Jen brought up the pension and the ensuing conversation that followed, so my question is, what is our yearly ongoing obligation towards the pension fund?
The MMO this year is about $750,000.
And with the budget and some kind of flux or turmoil, are we able to currently meet those obligations?
Yes.
And project in the future? How long are we projected to be able to meet those obligations?
We have the actuaries looking at the amount for 2024, 2025, which I believe are due in September, so we'll have an answer there. Until we get the report from the actuary, I don't know what that number's gonna be. And we'll be able to work the budget forward from there.
And if we do a large payout to Mr. Simplesio, how's that going to affect our ability to meet our pension obligations and meet budget?
I have to see what that is. I can't answer that without knowing that.
Do any of you know what the amount would be?
How much we paying?
What a total payout would be?
I have some numbers that I worked on, okay? And it depends on what the decision is. Okay, his salary's $110,000 a year. If you pay that out and finish it, it's $157,846.20. If you take his, he always got a bonus, like $65,000 bonus a year.
Oh, okay.
On top of the 110.
That's a good one.
So if you take that number, it's $248,462. Now, also, he has 30 weeks of
Paid time off.
sick leave and vacation, okay?
How many weeks?
30 weeks.
30.
He wants 30 weeks.
You never
Now,
took a vacation?
if you do that number at the $108,000 a year, or $110,000, that's an additional $62,302. If you do it at the $170,000 number, it's an extra $98,076. So the number is somewhere between $157,846.20 and $258,269. Not to mention, when you pay him out, he's gonna take his pension. His pension, because of how he did it, is gonna be $98,629.80 per year.
Sir, as a follow-up, is that including the fact that we're about to pay out?
Pardon me.
May I ask?
Mr. Clement?
Yes, ma'am.
The mayor has read the rules.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat pointed at me.
And I'm not
It's your turn
done.
to speak, it's your turn to
He
speak.
pointed at me, ma'am, I apologize.
Right now, I'll leave Mr. Taylor finish.
Okay.
And I'm not done, okay? So here's how this happened. Mr. Simplesio was mayor for 8 years, am I correct? Like 8
Yes.
years, okay? And he wanted to turn his mayor time into, I'm gonna say, retirement time, okay? The state wouldn't allow him to convert his mayor time. This is what I've heard. I didn't want to bring this out yet, okay? Because I don't have all the facts, I don't have the actuary. When I bring out a problem, I like to bring a solution with it. I don't have the solution tonight, okay? I will have it, okay? And I will bring that to you. So anyways, so he found a pension company that would let him convert it. But to change, he had to get 75% of the non-uniformed workers to vote to change. Pretty slick of him, here's what he said, okay? Took it from, am I 1.7 to 8? 1.75?
I think it's 1.75.
Okay, so you get 1.75% of your pay towards your retirement for every year you work. He changed that to 2.5%, okay? And he went from 50% max to 90% max to 90% max, okay? So, one of the reasons we're gonna have this is just the start of the shortfall of the pension fund. Mr. Simplesio has cost the city over time. I don't hear from the actuaries yet, because they're gonna give me a number. We don't have that number back. I'm guessing millions of dollars, all because of greed and self-serve, okay? So, now the way he got the people to vote for it is he gave them more pension. Why? Who wouldn't vote for that? But if it was so good, was so great, why didn't he do it for the uniform pension? He didn't do it for the uniform pension, not for our policemen. He did it for himself.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Mr. Clement,
And you know what?
questions?
And wait a minute, one other thing. You know, this council might not have known it, but I guarantee you Miss Cherry knew about it. And she should have not let that happen.
Yeah. Good for you, Pat. Here.
Wait a minute, I don't negotiate the contract. We have a union lawyer who takes care of those things.
I saw the letter letters from people saying that it was a good thing, but you didn't tell them everything to get those letters. It's a shame. It's what they did to my city is terrible.
I think, so what you're saying is there's gonna be an effect on the pensions, the future pensions of
Absolutely.
all the employees of DuBois because of this, right?
Absolutely. And that's what the actuary, I asked for the actuary to project ahead, and I have not got those figures yet. I really wanted to have those before I brought all this out.
That would have been nice.
It would have been terrific.
Yeah, it would have
Who is
been.
the actuary?
Pardon me?
Who is doing that for us?
I think our pension company is
Pension company.
Gerard, and for the non-uniform and for the uniform is S&P.
Okay, Mr. Clement.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Sorry, I was called, I thought Pat had called upon me. Two things. One, Pat, can you clarify for us, if we were to pay out tonight, are you including that in his pension? Because surely it goes towards his pension pay.
I did not, I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I'm not part of that. I am in the dark. I do not
So you've
know
been
what-
cut out of that discussion?
That's pretty strong, but I have not, nobody's talked to me about it.
Okay. Then the next thing I'd like to talk about is a statement to our fellow council and Ms. Jerry. Let's talk about legacy for a moment. Diane, Jim, Eddie, you've served on this city council since 2012. There have been some good things done in this city. I could list some for you. In fact, I did a whole radio show on them. You can go listen to it. We get it with the man. But your legacy is going to be, if you do tonight what some have said they're going to do, which is to pay out Mr. Simplizio, you're going to do this for your friend at the cost of our city and our city employees. And your legacy will always be that you helped bankrupt this city and our pension plan, all because you want to take care of your friend rather than the people who put you in these spots. Shame you weren't here for all of it. So you also get to make a very important vote tonight, if that's what you're going to do. But I implore all of you to not do it. Ms. Cherry, you're probably one of the longest serving solicitors in the Commonwealth. Legacy is going to be important about how you're all going to be remembered from this moment on. Pat Riesinger is exempt because he just got appointed. No doubt he's going to vote no. If you all vote yes, your legacy, all those good things you have done, and you, again, have done some good things, will be completely, forever ruined. Please do the right thing for the people of the city of DuBois.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not in the city, but I work for Magnus Marketing, and I just want to, and for the fields.
Who are you?
Amanda Roseman. Sorry,
Where do you
never
live?
been to one.
Where do you live?
In Penfield. Sorry,
Where are-
Penfield.
And we're asking this because Bobby Schaefer doesn't know where people live.
Oh, okay, sorry, I live in Penfield. Yeah, sorry. I've been working since the remodel of the fields in 2016, bringing in teams, bringing in tournaments, helping the local teams with tournaments. We just hosted an Eastern Regional, one of 5 in the country, that brought 9 teams in. Hotels were sold out. Businesses open for a day to host these teams when they're closed normally on a Monday or Tuesday. It's bringing in more money than people realize. And the joy that our local kids have that get to play on those fields is unmatched. Maybe come down to some of the games. The City Classic game, which it brings in everybody. The Small College World Series was sold out this year because Penn State DuBois was in it once again, winning their 4th title. So for somebody to not know all the information and speak out on it is not right. When we bust our butts maintaining those fields, the city workers, I had somebody compliment me the first year. Those were the cleanest public bathrooms they've ever seen of a city park. That's how hard our city works for those fields, to maintain them and to keep them active. local teams get just as much playing time as travel teams. So, that's all. And on deck, unfortunately, we had to close for 3 months, but we're busy as ever. I have multiple teams coming in, multiple players. Justin Mickness wants to come back and have instruction, give lessons. So, that's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Glass?
Dave Glass, I'm looking at DuBois, most of you know who I am. I have one question and then a comment. Regarding your pension, do you know what the percentage funded is the last time your actuaries gave you a figure?
I don't know that exact number, I can get that for you.
Okay. I think that's pretty relevant to the situation. Obviously, anything under 90% starts to look a little dicey, so.
I can tell you that our payment to the pension fund in 2014 was $251,724. In 2023, budgeted is, because the state tells us, you know, afterwards what it is $1,258,673.
And to put
But I
it in
don't know what the
context-
percent is.
And that, to put it into correct context, that's happening in a lot of places. You know, the market was down last year. It depends on your assumed rate of return. That would be very interesting information to know if that's been manipulated to try to make the numbers look better too.
It will probably be better this year.
So, yeah, but I get it, and, you know, we're dealing with the same thing in the county of the short term, a little bit of a bump, but it's important, I think, to understand all the variables before you make a decision like this. And that gets to my comment. You put this gentleman in a tough spot. I don't know what your plans are here tonight. I heard the talk about what you're thinking about doing with the former manager's contract. I don't support that. I think this board should really take a pass on that and let the next board make any decisions like that, but I don't think that comes as a surprise, but I'm here also to speak for him. I can't imagine the position you put him in to try to clean up this mess, and I certainly hope that you're not thinking about getting rid of Mr. Nasuti. So I'm also here on his, not on his behalf, because he didn't know I was coming. I haven't talked to him at all, but when I saw manager's position, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't on the chopping block, because that would be taking a bad situation and making it much worse. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Abbott?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, my name is Barry Abbott, 716 Treasure Lake. I'm not here to talk about budgets, sorry. An interesting sidebar to our previous guest. I'm traveling to Ocean City. My son is in another vehicle, and he said, "Dad, you gotta turn the radio station on at AM 1480 or 1420, whatever." Berlin, Maryland, broadcasting a game from DuBois, Pennsylvania, and they could not be more pleased with the facilities, the people, our restaurants. I mean, it was gushing out of the microphone. And, I mean, I'm 400 miles from nowhere, listening to an AM radio station talking about DuBois, Pennsylvania, and playing on these beautiful fields in our facilities. So that's my sidebar. That's my wife. She said I'm supposed to be good. Anyway, I did digress on that. I do apologize. I am the project manager for the Veterans Memorial in City Park, and I need to inform City Council that we are going to do an upgrade. We will be taking the pavers out and laying them. If you've been to the memorial, you see that they're cattywampus. It's just been about 15 years, 12 years, and our landscaper, David Orr, will be working on that project between now and Memorial Day coming up. So if we have some tape around the memorial, council should be aware of what we're doing. And Chris, I'd like to get with you a little bit and bring you up to speed in case council has any other questions. So council, thank you very much for allowing the SAL of Post 17 to put that Veterans Memorial in. God bless our veterans. Thank you.
I'm sure you know the woman assisting Mrs. Kennard with I want to make sure what you're doing is not going to conflict with what she's doing
I saw that,
Okay.
I saw that.
The,
I'll work with her if something comes up. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Kristen Vida. I just want to make sure you understand that you can be held personally liable for your actions tonight if you pay out Hermes Ecclesia. Do you understand what that means? I am not talking about suing council as a whole and where the insurance company's gonna come in and, save you. I am talking about you personally. Now, I know that this council has been in contact with several law firms and they've advised you of that. But Ms. Cherry continues to ill-advise you, and I don't understand why you listen to her. Her bark is louder than her bite. And I know she puts a lot of sugar in that Kool-Aid that gets served out here. But I am telling you, do you really want to risk your personal assets by listening to her? She continually lies to us as taxpayers and to you as council. Most recently, at the last council meeting, she puts her hands up. I have nothing to do with her contract. But at the work session, Ron Trasna gave you the minutes from the 2015 meeting where, yes, Tony Cherry advises city council on her employment contract that had no morals clause included in it. She claims, hey, she had nothing to do with it. That was a lie. She invoiced the city for it. I mean, come on. I do not understand. You are going to risk the livelihoods of city workers by paying out that contract. I'm asking you to really reconsider that. Are you willing to risk your personal assets as she continues to lead you astray? She might not have talked to you about a surcharge action for a breach of financial duties. She might not have mentioned that to you. But if that's the case, you will be held liable and will have to pay that back personally. We have already spoken to attorneys as well. True character is revealed during the most challenging times. And I want to know what your actions are going to be tonight and how you'll be remembered here tonight. Diane, it was September of 2020 when you contacted Jen and I and had a sit down. You wanted us to run for council. You strategized with us and you aired the dirty laundry of council. You were the black sheep at that time.
I know, I was there at that meeting, and I'm gonna tell you what.
Do not interrupt me, I have the floor now.
Your 3 minutes are up.
I'm gonna tell you
Well,
right now.
she interrupted me. I am sorry, Eddie, she interrupted me. Jim, you're here for Tony. Shane, you were her yes man. Eddie, you leave me speechless. I am asking you to do the right thing tonight. Thank you.
I would like to respond to that. First off, Kristen, I said to you and to Jen, you have every right to run. And in terms of dirty laundry, what you were trying to find out was about the elevator at the ball fields. That's exactly what you were trying to find. I didn't strategize with you.
Oh, yes, you did. In fact, you told Diane,
I've got the floor now. I've got the floor now.
I'm gonna correct you. Diane, I will correct you.
I'm gonna correct you.
You told us Herm ordered Bobby Cherry to destroy minutes from Bobby Schaefer, Bobby Schaefer to a meeting with the gas company. You filed an ethics complaint against
not
Cherry.
say that.
Yes, Jennifer? Yes, I did.
No,
You did.
no, I'll tell you what, Mayor.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Hey, Jen, if you, Kristen, if the city knows of any good, needs a mechanic, I'm sure that you could recommend one.
Okay, let's move on.
What's that about?
Okay. I'm gonna respond to somewhere of that, Kristen. The city manager's contract, I did some research on it. And in 1979, Ron Rich was given a contract. In 1986, Pat Musso was given a contract. 2001, Ron Trasno was given a contract, and then Herm was given one in 2009. It's what you're referring to in 2015. Tony did not rewrite, Ms. Cherry did not rewrite the contract. She separated it into three categories: manager, water, and sewage. We needed that for the Sand Township and for the PUC procurers. You know exactly what portion of his contract was due to water, due to sewage. It's the only thing she did to the contract in 2015. It was the original contract that he was written in, was written in 2009. Okay? Just modified for PUC. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. Okay? Okay, yes, sir.
Mark Travis from DuBois. I'm hearing all this talk about buying out the contract or whatever, you know, we haven't heard anything yet from the council. I would actually like to know why and what is going on with it right now. That's all, I mean, it's all speculation right here, but I would like to know the reasons why you would do it instead of waiting for the, going to court. I mean, it's in court, it's going to court right now, so why would we even be talking about it and buying it out right now even before something happens? He could be innocent or guilty. We don't know yet. So I don't know why we're doing what we're doing here now.
Make money.
I would actually should explain it.
I'll tell you what my, and I do agree, Mr. Sprizio is not innocent and not guilty right now.
He is innocent until he's proven
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, he's innocent until proven guilty. I'm sorry, that came off the law. But, we're leaving Mr. Nasuti hanging with this interim position. Mr. Sprizio is not gonna come back and work here after everything that's gone on. He has a 10-year contract that goes till April 15th of next year, of 2025. So about a year and 7 months left on his 10-year contract. It's a viable contract, and we'll move on from there. That's enough. I'm not saying more until we get to it later on in the meeting.
I have a comment.
Okay.
Mr. Spalizio's contract was signed March 9th, 2015. I have a note here from Gabriel and Farrell. Okay, it says, in 2015, the city worked with a former partner of mine, Rich Miller, at the Campbell Drummel firm to create Herm's initial contract. That's in 2015.
No, 2009.
It says 2015 here. This is from these attorneys. Okay? His contract, their suggested contract does not have, moral clause in it. It does have a termination clause in it. According to the law firm, it was 2015.
That's the latest contract.
Yes.
I was not on council when he got his original contract. It was my understanding that same law firm wrote up the original contract.
Yeah, I mean, I have a copy of that contract that they did in 2015 right here. Okay, so if you call it old, you call it new, it's, you know, it's contract. It was in 2015.
Yes, sir.
Sean Lesky, DuBois High. I have a question I'd like to direct for Mr. Nasuti. On the 24th of July, the last official city meeting, I believe that you took some time to reiterate that you were happy with the terms of your current contract, which included somewhat of a salary bonus, somewhere in the neighborhood of $8,000. You said a few times in that meeting, if memory is not failing me, that you were happy with that.
Yes.
So when Mr. Walsh, Mr. Mayor says that we're leaving you hanging, I'm just making sure that your opinion hasn't changed, that you feel that what we're being paid now is satisfactory.
Yes.
So
I have not asked anybody to
If you
change
were
anything
to
since
use
then.
that as a reason to compel this buyout, it's not because you want it or expect it. You're happy with, as you said before, nothing's changed, you still have.
I have not asked anything.
Okay, so that just points that reason from the table, just in case we.
But there's not a bonus, then, 8,000.
No, it's not, it's just the interim pay. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
It mentioned a bonus.
Additional to the payment that was before, if you assume using the DuBois.
I have no contract, correct, I have no
He said,
contract.
clarify that, he's not on a contract. He's not on a contract. Is that all, Mr. Linsky?
For now.
I had some different topics I wanted to, I'm sorry, Debbie Maxling, Monroe Street, DuBois. I had different topics I did plan on talking about, but this is too urgent. And I have spent, since the last council meeting, I have been reviewing all of the newspaper articles and the affidavit by the grand jury. And I've just basically been reviewing a lot of things because I wanted to try to clear things up in my mind as to what the sequence of events was. And so after reviewing all of that, I just want to do a little review with the rest of you. So in March of '23, our city manager was placed on paid administrative leave by council. This action was taken by council after hearing that our city manager was the subject of an extensive investigation by the Pennsylvania State Police, the Attorney General's office, and a grand jury investigation. Enough cause was found by the investigating officers that felony theft and misdemeanor fraud charges were filed against our city manager. The grand jury investigators also found that our city manager used his position to enter into contracts with business for which he received personal benefits. And this was taken from the Courier Express, March 21st, 2023. And I know this is all old news, but I still maintain that our city manager's wages should have been held in escrow pending the result of the trial. An innocent verdict, his wages wait for him. A guilty verdict, his wages are forfeited and stay with the city. Our community has limited tax dollars due to a decreasing population. Presently, it's about 8,000. A very high percentage of tax exempt properties because of schools, churches, hospitals, fields. About 46 to 48% of our tax base. And we have a very high population of retired and citizens on a fixed income. Where are the tax dollars going to come from to support new projects, like the new fire truck on order? Where's that money coming from? On Wednesday, March 22nd, the Courier Express quoted our city solicitor, Tony Cherry, with saying about the council's response to the city manager's charges. Council, this is a quote, council will remain vigilant in our oversight of city funds and its employees. 5 months have passed since this investigation has come to the public's attention. During that time, $270,000 of our city tax monies have been paid for legal fees as a result of these charges. It is way past time for council to follow through with their statement and start being vigilant.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Mr. Monk?
Yes, Sam Olick, I'm a Sandy Township resident and a Sandy Township supervisor. And my question is, deals with consolidation and the non-uniform employees from Sandy Township. Will they, and I wasn't on any finance committees during consolidation work the last 2 years, but when they come over, will they be subject to the pension? Will they have a pension just like the city workers, or has that not been determined?
That hasn't been determined yet.
So there's a chance that I doubt if the city workers would wanna go to a 401K type, but if that's a possibility.
I have no idea.
So
That has not even
we
been
haven't
discussed
determined
yet.
that, so, see, I wasn't sure if that had, and also when Pell did the, studies, Pennsylvania Economy League, did they figure in the cost of, future pensions, for the, when people retire? So that might not be, I haven't studied the figures, I looked at some of the other categories where it said that the combined tax rate might be 17.2%, which I doubt is gonna happen now, that was back in 2020, so.
I don't know how the pension was calculated.
It was calculated.
So it was calculated using the, figures, like did they know the exact figures?
They did.
Okay. Okay.
But they were projected.
And I just hope, I'm still looking forward to consolidation, and, we'll, after all this is done, we'll get back to, hopefully, back to work, and, I know whatever cost, I think being one, it will help deal with the cost in the future. So I think we need to consolidate, and hopefully that happens.
Thank you, Sam. Yes, Ms. Clement.
Kathleen Clement, City. Maybe we could afford our funding of our employees' pension plan if we didn't give bonuses. We don't pay for a 12-inch water line to the solicitor's hotel. We stop paying a solicitor who bills us for projects that she does not work on, AKA the Maple Avenue turnback, where $35,000 to be paid, and pretty little spending of city vehicles and ballparks.
Thank you. If you like.
Yes, I would. Ms. Clement, just so you understand, my law firm performed extensive searches of all of the oil and gas rights in the watershed area, which would be every single property that the city of DuBois owns, and advance the cost on that. The cost of that, our billing would have been $35,000. There are other matters that we handle for the city of DuBois. Rather than bill that to the city and have it come out of the general fund, PennDOT allocated monies for the turnback. That money did not come from taxpayers of the city. In the ultimate, it comes from taxpayers of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania through whatever monies PennDOT has. But what we elected to do, because the bills for various things that we did was higher than the $35,000. But we took $35,000 and accepted that as payment out of the PennDOT allocated funds. And that's what we did, so that we didn't take it from, the general fund. We took it from a $3.7 million allocation by PennDOT.
So
That Maple Avenue bill wasn't paid from PennDOT, it was paid by us.
Thank you.
Well, but
Right,
you
because
have
I've
that
got
money
And
allocated from PennDOT.
And Mr. Chairman, we've never seen an itemized bill.
Well, I'll give you an itemized bill for all services that haven't been paid, if that's what you want.
Okay.
Because I expect that will be more than 35.
Anybody else?
No time left.
Guys, your time's off.
Mine's good.
No, you actually, you have about a minute and a half left. I'll give you 2 minutes.
That was courtesy. Ms. Jerry, you're saying that you did not write the contract. And, however, you would have had the opportunity to discuss with this board and make a recommendation of whether they passed that contract or not. And you knew it didn't have a morals clause in it, which I would think you would have wanted them to reject it then. So you did have a definite influence on whether they passed or not, because you are the city solicitor.
I read the contract, and I read the numbers coming out of the study of St. Mary's when they consolidated for what the recommended salary would be for the position of the manager of the water, manager of the sewer, and a city manager's contract. I looked at the numbers, yes, I did.
Did you recommend that they pass that contract, or did you not recommend?
I recommended that the numbers were in line with what other municipalities were paying. Yes,
How about the wording?
I do not have a recollection that I made any objections to the wording. And quite frankly,
You're the solicitor.
I thought that it was satisfactory, and I thought, to this day, I thought that Mr. Luzo, and I think that Mr. Luzo has done a very fine job of moving the city forward.
Okay, any other questions? All right, moving on. Downtown DuBois Parking Study Report, Julie Stewart.
Thank you. Wish we could pick a different day to do this, but it is what it is. We have several documents, we could take just a moment to pass some things out. We've been working since early in March, with City Chris and Joe on a parking study that included our downtown business and buildings.
Louder.
Yeah, nobody was hearing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking forward. That's how I felt back there, I could hear nothing that was being said. Anyway, we did a parking survey, started in March, we've been working on it ever since. We surveyed approximately 88 businesses within our footprint. Some of them were direct interviews, others were just analysis of buildings and spaces and what they have available. Okay, we're going to be quite brief here.
Okay, what's your job?
I'm an intern from downtown DuBois. My name is Dominic. So we conducted a business survey and we went around to all the businesses of DuBois, trying to get a gauge on the parking for DuBois, whether it's private, public, and how many spaces they have. One of the reasons we did this was to see what kind of parking DuBois had and if it is sufficient for the customers that come into the downtown DuBois. So one of the things that great cities have is good parking structure, and that's why these big companies come into downtowns. And I'm not going to show you all the parking numbers, but just a little brief summary of what we gathered. So for street parking, paid and free, there's 147 spots. For the employees and customers, there's 721. So all the parking lots that are in DuBois added up is 157. And if you take all those numbers for the downtown DuBois, there is 1,026 parking spots. And with the survey that we conducted, we wanted to do two things. One was to see if all the businesses have enough parking, because it affects them economically. And then second was to get their issues and intake insight on what could be better, or if there's anything the city could do to help the local businesses. Let's see. So some of the common survey responses that we've gotten is promoting signage in the parking lots and along the streets. There's just some confusion when customers come to the downtown. They don't know where to park or what's free and what's to be paid for. Another common response is trying to get a mobile app for payment, just because of the way technology's headed. One of them was need more parking, and that was one of the things that we're trying to decide based on the survey. And we really don't, but promoting the awareness of where the parking is, where you're allowed to park, when you're allowed to park, will definitely help. And another one for all the Brady Street businesses, slowing down the traffic a little bit, because the big semi trucks fly through there.
So some of the recommendations were to obviously people interested in increasing parking, but we did identify that we have a lot of parking that's just not readily visible because of our tight footprint. DuBois is got a unique layout, features a lot of amenities here, so part of our job is identifying these parking spaces, and wayfinding was a big part of that. So we worked closely with the city. The city's already ordered and installed some PennDOT approved wayfinding signs. We still have more that need to be put up. We are actually requesting of council if we could put inserts into the water bills for the next cycle with the parking map, just to let our local citizens know, and then we'll be distributing additional parking maps to all the hotels and so forth around the area and to all of our businesses. The city has, I hope I could speak to this, but has initiated a grant application to the Department of Community and Economic Development to develop this lot on Scribner here to actually increase it by 20 spaces. So that's going to go a long way to help anybody in this footprint to have a place to park, and they may have to walk a few paces, but it'll alleviate some of the congestion that is perceived to be happening. But basically that is what we have for now. This is not a comprehensive study. We are not engineers, we're not consultants. It was an effort to utilize the talents of our Penn State intern here and on a challenging project and get as much data as we could that can be analyzed, and then we can do additional studies going forward with other groups. So this was building and business owners, which really gave us a good beat on a lot of different things, because they, understanding their customers, their employees, their tenants in their building, and then their own experience. So that is it. We appreciate working with the city. Thank you.
We appreciate working with you. Thank you, Julie and Dawn. We've got a lot of feedback from you and from the businesses, and like I said, we have signs. Some are up already, others will be going up. Speed limit signs have also been put up. The Jake brake sign's been put up. The digital speed sign is so people can recognize what their speed is here for the next 6 weeks has gone up. So thanks again for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, request appointment of Molly O'Brien Walcott, 307 North 4th Street, the DuBois Housing Authority, fulfilling the term of Ms. Lieber ending January 1st, 2025. It's in your packet. Council's wishes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second. To appoint Molly O'Brien Walcott to fulfill the term of Mrs. Lieber entering January 1st, 2025. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Deeds.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaum.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 9, work session.
This is the continued discussion from our last meeting. I think Jimmy had asked for 2 weeks to think about it and discuss it back at this meeting.
Yeah, I have not heard any comments back from me on canceling the work session, because we're just reviewing the minutes or the agenda for Monday night. So I have not known, I mentioned at that, on that council meeting, I have not heard anything back, positive or negative about it.
Northline.
I know I'm the one that made the motion, and I'm kind of rethinking it a little bit. I think it's nice that the citizens have another chance to make comments. So I would like to see that stay in place at least until the first of the year. Okay? Does anybody have anything to say about that or anything?
Thank you. I agree. Is there any chance of changing the time? Because that's a problem for people who are working.
Me too. It's been that way for how long, and I'm okay with where it is. I don't like it, but don't change it because of me.
One of the things, one of the reasons that the work session for years has been 4 o'clock is to accommodate staff.
So they don't have to come back.
So they don't have to come back again. I mean,
Sure,
they
that
come
makes
back
sense.
on Monday, and why make them come back again, because we have staff that aren't just here in DuBois.
What about a compromise?
I was thinking 5 o'clock, but what about 4:30? I mean, for me to shut my business down at 3:30 in order to be at a work session meeting, that really limits my work day. But even 4:30 would be easier for me. Which, you know, you have to.
Normal city hours stop at 4 o'clock, so that's probably why you guys had it that way. Sure.
Okay, if there's no action to be taken on that, we'll just move forward. Council, have any motions or anything on that? Number 10, request from Priority of Media for West Long Avenue from Franklin Street to Brady Street to be closed to traffic beginning at 4:30 on Tuesday, October 31st for the annual Halloween parade. This is an annual request from Sunny 106. Council's wishes. Christopher, do you have anything to add?
Nope. You're right, annual request.
Everything's been submitted.
Everything's been submitted. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to shut down West Long Avenue for North Franklin and Brady Street for the October 31st, 2023 at 4:30 for the annual Halloween parade. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Request for intermunicipal liquor transfer from Arc Restaurant LLC, 1802 Daisy Street, Clearfield to the Public House on George Street, LLC, 29 South George Street. That would be the old George Bar.
Yep, the old George Bar Holigos, we received the request, I forwarded that on. Ms. Cherry, I don't know, I think you got a copy of that as well. Can we set a hearing date?
Yes.
Or do we need to get back to them?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can set the hearing date at a time that they can attend. Probably it would be best to have it preceding the actual meeting of council, so the council could then vote on the transfer. And I think you have to give it a little.
What do you think?
They requested the 28th in their letter.
Did they request the 28th?
Yeah, if it all falls.
If it all, then that's fine, then they're ready.
Do you know how much time we would need for that?
Well, they're gonna have to present, I would start it, we're getting pretty early, maybe 5:30, 5:45. It can extend over into the meeting. You can just start the meeting later.
Let's go 5:30. Okay, council's wishes on the request for the transfer.
Real quick question.
Yes.
Chief, another liquor license in town cause an issue or any kind of problem?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
They had one for years down there, and then they sold it to somebody else when the George Bar shut down.
Got it.
Okay, council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
And set the hearing for 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 on August 28th.
Second that.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the request for the liquor license transfer and hold a public hearing on the 28th at 5:30. Any questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 12, request from Becky McTavish to appoint Julie Stewart to the library board with a term ending December 31st, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to appoint Becky McTavish to, I'm sorry, thank you. Request from Becky McTavish to appoint Julie Stewart to the library board with a term ending December 31st, 2025. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. 13, tabulation and recommendation, Chris, for Cook Hill Water Distribution, Main, paving and house demolitions.
You have the tabulation that in your packets tonight. I'll have a recommendation on that on the 28th. Those bids were higher than anticipated. I gotta look at the funding. We may have to forego that one right now. The paving, actually came in about 40,000 under budget. So we're gonna recommend awarding the contract to the low bidder, HRI, in the amount of $205,671.
Council's wishes on the fall paving project.
Make a motion to move forward with that. Second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, to move forward and award the bid to HRI in the amount of 671. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. House demolitions.
For the house demolitions, we received prices from several contractors. I have a recommendation for 21 South George Street, $9,500 to Ellenberger Excavation. 9,500, yeah. I think we should do these individually.
Council's wishes on 21 South George Street.
Yep. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to approve awarding the bid to Ellenberger Excavating in the amount of $9,500 for 21 South George. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
307 South George Street, $7,500 also to Ellenberger Excavation.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have motion on the floor, properly second, to award 307 South George to, again, Ellenberger Excavating in the amount of $7,500. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
And 119 West Weber Avenue, $8,240 to Roman Excavating.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, 119 West Weber, the amount of $8,240 to Roman Excavating. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Any time frame on those, Chris?
I don't know. Zach, did they give you time frame?
No. Start giving the notice to proceed and start getting the containers scheduled, so, or see what they're coming and everything like that for you next meeting.
Very good. Number 14, request authorization to advertise for aggregates.
Yep, this is our annual advertisement we did last year with Sandy Township. I think it worked out well. So we expect we could do that again this year. This is for sand and 2A and anti-skid. We use for our pipe trenches and for road maintenance.
Council's wishes.
Make a motion to authorize, the advertising for the aggregates.
Second.
Okay, we have motion on the floor, properly second, to advertise for the aggregates. Are we doing it with Sandy again?
I have a meeting with Sean tomorrow. I'll confirm that he does, and we can take it to Sandy Township as well.
Good. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Request from DuBois Area Youth Football for use of the stage on September 12th, 2023 for a cheerleading expo.
All the paperwork should be there in your packet. Everything's in place.
I make that motion.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second. To request from the DuBois, to approve the request from the DuBois Area Youth Football for the use of the stage on September 12th, 2023 for a cheerleading expo. All the paperwork is in there. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. 16, request second public hearing concerning 2023 Community Block Grant Program on Monday, September 11th, 2023 at 5:45.
We had the first one here where Joe solicited projects. We need to schedule the second one so we can go ahead and move forward with our application. Any other?
No, just if anybody does have any projects, feel free to reach out to me in the meantime.
Do you want to set that for the 28th as well, come at 5:15?
Yeah, they already have it set in place.
Oh. Oh, they are,
Yeah.
so we're going to do this.
5:45. Okay, the other one's at 5:30, that was at 5:45.
But this is
September 11th.
September 11th, I'm sorry. You're right, yeah.
Okay, so request, council's wishes on the request.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the second reading of the second Community Block Grant Program on Monday, September 11th at 5:45. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akama.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 17, Oklahoma Salem Water Line.
Yeah, this is one of the few private water lines we still have connected to our system. This is similar to what happened a couple of years ago on 12th Street. There are 6 property owners on this line. They've all submitted a request for us to take over the private water line. Oklahoma Salem Road. We did it previously on 12th Street, one block up.
That was like, by Sylvan.
If you go past Sylvan Heights to, right on top of the hill at White Lady.
Okay.
There's a meter pit there. There's 6 homes that go from there out to, I think it's Sunset maybe is the last one. So we have, gone inspected the area, found the shut-offs. We're agreeable to taking it over. I think we need to turn this over to the solicitor to draw the ordinance, is that correct?
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yep.
Are you selling to the meter in a contract? Or are you actually delivering directly to each of these?
So there is no contract.
No,
Water
I
goes-
mean, going forward, I need to know what you do.
No, we're gonna sell to each individual home. Yeah, there's a meter pit now, and each individual home will be metered and whatever it is.
Okay, council's wishes.
Need a motion to direct the solicitor to drop the ordinance?
Yep.
Make that motion. Second that
Motion. Okay, we have a motion on the floor, probably second, to have the solicitor drop a ordinance for the Oklahoma Salem Water Line project. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on it.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akama.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Tony, I'll get you all the property information.
Okay, number 18, financial director. Okay.
Still,
That's,
Sorry. No,
I just,
I mean, you got everything through before.
I got it.
Okay,
So, I apologize.
okay, I'm gonna try to be brief on this. About a month ago, I went back and started looking at past audits. I went back 25 years, and in that 25 years, we've had 3 managers, 2 auditing firms, a plethora of city council people, different people in the finance office, and so on and so forth. One of the things I thought was very interesting was that back 25 years ago, our auditor advised us that we should change from the cash basis of accounting to the accrual method, 25 years ago. Within that 25-year zone, and I want people to understand, this isn't about, I want you to take the people away from this. Doesn't matter who the manager is, doesn't matter who the guy, doesn't matter, okay? What I found was in all of the audits,
Sorry.
I found in all of the audits, there were financial discrepancies that were reported. There were no exemptions. Didn't matter who was manager, didn't matter who was on council. The discrepancies are there. 3 of the things that really stood out for me was our auditors brought out transferring the funds from one account to another as a deficiency, putting funds in the wrong account, and checks not reported. So what this has resulted from all the audits shows a material weakness in the financial reporting. So if you look at deficiency, you know what a deficiency is, but a material weakness is a financial misstatement with financial irregularities that have occurred over time. I'm going to, again, because of time, I just want to go, and again, I could pull out any audit, but I think this one really sums it up the best. How can we take away from not only the current council, but the upcoming council? How can we reduce the risk of misstatements and any kind of reporting irregularity? So I'm looking ahead on this also, okay? So I want to, again, you can go to any of those 25-year audits and you're going to find the wording very, very similar to this, alrighty? They have reported that where we are right now, and this has been climbing, and the city of DuBois, Pennsylvania, is determined not to be a low-risk auditee, which I think is an interesting way to phrase it, that we are not a low-risk auditee. So how do we change that? How do we overcome? Well, what we need to do, and again, it doesn't matter whether it's Jim on council, or Eric on council, or Elliot on council, or whether it's Patrick on council, whether it's Chris's manager, or whether it's Tom, Dick, or Harry. As long as we don't listen to the auditor's suggestions, you're going to find basically the same problems. So going back to the auditors, I said take people away from this. The auditor talks about material weaknesses. Those are the internal controls over financial reporting. Internal control over financial reporting includes controls over financial statement preparation, which would prevent or detect a misstatement or any irregularities in our financial statements, okay? In an ideal situation, if we follow what the auditors have been telling us for years, I mean, we've all taken on the risk because we didn't want to spend a little more money to protect our city. We just thought we're okay. Over 25 years. Now, I probably could go back in the audits, but that would mean Bobby would have to go up to where everything is stored to get to those audits. But I'm talking about 25 years of not listening to our audits. And I just gave the cash basis and improvement method that we're just now getting to. Ladies and gentlemen, council, we cannot allow the incoming council, we cannot allow them to face this risk situation. And here's what our auditors, not just one, but auditors have told us. That internal control system over financial reporting would include an individual that would have the technical knowledge and experience of the reporting requirements of generally accepted accounting principles and the government accounting standards boards. Back in approximately, and I have to say approximately, 2003, I think it was, the GASB, as they call it, wanted all municipalities in Pennsylvania to go from cash basis to the accrual method. Okay? And again, as we've already stated, we're just doing it now, 25 years later. I'm only bringing this forward because we've got to get our city out of this risk situation. We cannot afford this. This has nothing to do with the personalities involved. Please keep this in mind. I'm only reading from impartial and partial audits, whether it was Mr. Mahalik and his company who did this or was with Mr. Picciarello. And City Council and management made a conscious decision to accept the degree of risk resulting from these material weaknesses, as the benefit of the reduced risk does not justify the additional cost necessary to reduce the risk. I read this now and I think how ridiculous we were. What's that saying about being penny wise and pound foolish or something like that?
Day late and dollar short.
Day late and dollar short too. And so, ladies and gentlemen, and again, Damien, you're in a situation and you're doing a great job. You really are. But again, this has nothing to do with the people. This has to do with our audits. And they're recommending that in order to take the risk away from the city, to make sure that misstatements and miscalculations and money's being put in the wrong funds or checks accidentally not being recorded, or money's transferred back and forth before accounts. They're recommending that we need a personnel responsible for the accounting and reporting function of the city who has the level of knowledge and experience to review, approve, and accept responsibility for the financial statements. And in the 25 years, again, we've had many people in finance. We've never had anybody with the credentials or anyone who possesses the appropriate level of technical knowledge and experience of the generally accepted accounting principles and government accounting standards. Okay? This is very serious. I mean, many of you are here, and the reason you ran were because of the three things I mentioned, right? Money's being transferred from one fund to another, checks maybe not being reported accurately, and putting funds in the wrong accounts. That's not going to stop unless we do something about it. I do not want the 2024 council, the 2024 manager, whether it's Chris or whoever it happens to be. I do not want our city to stay in this high-risk situation of misstatements and lacking in the kind of oversight that we truly need.
Diane, may I ask
Hold
a
on,
question?
hold on, no you can't, because I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I mean, I put a lot of time into this, because I'm going to be a resident here long before the end of this year. And in material weaknesses, if we don't bring on board someone who's gonna help us with this, then we're just gonna continue down the same path. I don't want Jim to do that. I don't want Elliot to do it. I don't want Patrick to do it. I don't want Jim or Shane. I do not want the city to move forward with the high risk that we have. Deficiencies don't go away. It really requires that technical expertise to abide by the General Accounting Standards Board. We have the opportunity right now, again, to put the brakes on all of this. And I think what even makes this more crucial than everything, as Mr. Malika pointed out, we're on the verge of consolidation. I mean, it's not just the $17 million of revenues in our budget. It has to do, when you look at what we own, be it this building, the public library, the reservoir, the water wells, the fire stations, the buildings for public works, sewage, water treatment plants, all the equipment we have, the parking lots, the parks, et cetera, et cetera. We've got to put the brakes on this. And what we really need, more than ever, in light of all of this stuff that has happened this year, and in particular this year, this has been a buildup. We need to bring on somebody who has that expertise to bring this community down to a low-risk community. Council, we have the opportunity to change the direction of council. It's in our hands, and I'm asking council, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it?
Doesn't have to be a joint.
Well, no, considering that I will probably be part of 24, and I've worked with Daleen, and I think the world of her, I'm happy with keeping her where she is.
No, I'm not talking about Daleen.
We do not have the money to hire a CPA or an accountant.
No, wait a minute. As reported in the Courier Express by Elaine Haskins, June 27 to 2023, John Semantic was hired by the DuBois Area School District at a salary of $67,000. He's a CPA. And he's assistant business manager. I am not saying refire or do anything. We need help, and we need help now. Because things aren't gonna change. So council, what do you wanna do about it? No. Council, what do you wanna do about it?
I would say based on all of our audits, they all say the same thing. I'd like to make a motion that we advertise for a financial director with interested candidates applying by Friday, August 25th. I guess we put 2 weeks to put in.
Not the first year.
Well, no, I thought the agreement said anything now that you guys could only hire,
Until the first of this year.
We have the right to explore the possibilities. We have the right to explore the possibilities, whether we hire a person or not. If we don't explore the possibilities, then we are negligent. Now, Shane, you made a motion.
Hold on, 1 second, I'm talking with Mr. Arcidi.
Sorry.
Mr. Malco brought up a very valid point, and I think we've already researched. But after January 1st of 2023, we must have the approval of Sandy Township.
Thank you, Mayor.
For any new hires.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
This past year. Chris, can you
That-
research?
that's not
I'm gonna
me.
research that for you.
But it does not mean you can't look at that and see if that's a viable option, okay?
No one's saying anyone's getting hired or fired.
That's
In
all I'm
this whole
asking
thing.
for.
No
is
one's
a
saying,
chance to-
no one's saying.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. I'm just asking for the opportunity after 25 years of audits. It's like, why can't we take a look at possibilities? We've got to take a look at possibilities, otherwise these audits are gonna say the same thing. That's all.
Has that report always been that condition? Has it for 25 years it's come back that we are a high risk?
Yes.
And so
Yeah,
now,
well, it's gotten worse because it's never been dealt with, never been dealt with, never been dealt with.
but the council ignored that report then every time that it came back.
Because all the people who were in council over the 25 years and management and everybody else said, hey.
Who advised you to ignore
Pardon me.
it?
We have, all the council members, all the managers over the years have just said, hey, we don't want to look at it. Everything's groovy.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Does Sandy Township have a CPA on staff?
Not that I know of.
So they're in the same financial position as we are, basically with their staff? But it's a problem right now for the city of Newton, apparently. That's what I'm getting at this.
I don't know, I didn't look at 25 years of their audits.
Well, they don't have a CPA.
She's been on the council for 25 years.
Hold
What
on,
if you
Mayor,
question?
Mayor, I want the gavel down, please.
We have a motion on the floor, okay?
And that was seconded.
Oh.
What's that?
I seconded it.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, to advertise for a financial director. And you will check with Sandy Township to see.
Can I just make a comment on that? You said the 25th?
Yes.
By the time, this is today, so by the time we get it added, it'll probably be Thursday or Friday.
You wanna go out 2 weeks from there?
If you wanna go out 2 weeks from there. I'm just saying, you'll probably only have a week if we advertise, and keep the 25th.
Do August.
September 1st.
How are we gonna pay them?
I wanna talk to Mark.
Yeah.
They can't hire anyone.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, properly second. Any question on the motion?
Yeah, just what was the date again for any applications, and what was the date?
31.
Thank you.
And again, we're not saying we're hiring somebody, we're exploring the feasibility of it. Okay, we'll vote on the motion.
States,
Yes.
Bernardo,
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Yeah.
Reesinger,
No.
Wall.
Yes.
All right. Can't hire anybody. We'll raise some money. We're gonna advertise, because we got lots of money.
Okay, number 19, manager position.
Yeah, on the manager's position, there's been a lot of discussion tonight, obviously, and before, I have talked to you back before on the manager's contract. You were here with Mr. Masucci, we did start discussing that. And, just trying to move things forward, want to do something, with this contract. We are bound by legally on parts of that contract, things like that. So, I would make a motion to, look at paying out the manager's contract and terminate his employment once that part is resolved.
You put in an amount or anything?
Yeah.
I said, once that amount is determined, I just said.
Oh, my God.
We have to work on it. That's what that motion is, to work on doing.
Okay, is there a second on the motion?
I second that motion. Is the motion to investigate or to pay it out?
There are some things that we do have to pay out, and other people.
Can we
have that
get
up here,
a number?
that we do have to pay.
We will give you a number.
You will or won't?
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Before you pay it,
But what's
Tonight?
Is the motion to investigate or to pay it?
or is it determined first?
Terminate.
We will determine it, and then, once it's determined, then if to pay that out, and then, terminate the employment.
Does it require more motions?
Pardon me?
Does it require more motions? The next steps would require more motions? Or are you trying to roll it on to one?
Just the second,
Yeah.
then that's the question.
Okay, the motion, Jimmy, repeat your motion one more time, just to clarify for everybody.
So, make a motion to, like I said, about there is certain things that we would have to pay in Mr. Simpleto's contract. We know that for a fact, there are the legalities, so pay out the contract, and determine that, what that amount would be, and to terminate the employment of Mr. Simplito once that is resolved.
Okay, that's the motion. Is there a second?
Are we doing it tonight?
Okay, we have a
You're
motion.
terminating them now.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, we
So
have a
once
motion.
that is determined, the payout.
So there'll be
When will you
another vote.
determine?
There'll be another vote after the determination of the payout. Is that what you said? What's the motion? To investigate it, to pay out.
My motion is to negotiate the termination of the contract. Does that suffice everybody?
No.
Why?
Okay, so,
Are you gonna negotiate,
Jim,
come back and give us the number and vote on it?
okay, motion on the floor is that we are going to negotiate the buyout of the contract with Mr. Springfield and terminate his employment.
Once that's completed, yes.
So will there be another vote after that?
Who's
Or is
negotiating?
this the vote?
We have, Mayor, where are we on the motion right now?
We're getting ready to vote. I just said the motion. Okay. Jim?
Is there gonna be another vote after this, after you investigate it on, or is this the vote to pay it out regardless of how much it costs?
Because it's fine.
I'm not going to pay it out till we know the number. I mean, I think. we all-
Yes, that's what I think that's what my motion was to.
I think it's coming, we come back,
Coming back.
coming
Yes.
back here, and make it another motion.
Yes.
Why not just table?
We're moving forward, getting rid of
Table.
terminating Mr. Springfield. Okay, so the motion on the floor is to move forward with negotiating and getting a number for the buyout of Mr. Spezio's contract to terminate his employment with the city of DuBois. Any questions? We'll vote on the motion.
I have a question.
Yes, because this contract says you have to
So
pay.
you need to state that once that number is determined, we will come back to council and vote on that number.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's the
I
motion.
think that number should be 0.
Well, okay, you can have your.
Yeah, thank you, Pam.
Can I ask a question? Can you?
We're in the middle of a motion, we have to vote on it.
Who are you negotiating? That's
Like,
my
who is
question.
negotiating?
We will negotiate Herm's, the numbers with Herm.
You will, you will.
Who's
You will.
negotiating?
City council.
That's easy. We'll just pay it. Just pay it. End it. Just don't even negotiate, just pass the motion. Pay it.
Vote on the motion.
Why pay it? Pay it.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Riesinger.
No.
Walsh.
Yes.
Oh,
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
No, under that manager's position doing this, you know, also moving forward, okay, I'd like to make a motion to advertise for the manager's position and strongly encourage Mr. Masudi to apply for that position.
Not if you haven't terminated them, you can't begin to advertise. If you haven't terminated Herman.
And we can't advertise for that position?
No, how do you know you're gonna terminate?
Yeah.
Oh, anticipate.
In preparation for. Yeah, we can't advertise in preparation for.
Sure. Just looks off.
And I seconded the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to advertise for the position. Strongly urge Mr. Sudi to apply. Any questions on the motion?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Of course. I think we should just offer him a job.
Yeah.
He has stepped up.
We interviewed for city council.
And I did say in my motion, I strongly suggest
And we
interim
inter-
manager Masudi apply.
Yes.
Didn't I
And
say
we-
that?
and we
Do
have the
your
right-
due diligence, see if anybody else wants to, you know, internally or externally, okay? You know, we did it with council, filling the position, so, and that's.
Okay, we'll vote on the motion.
Keats.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Riesinger.
No.
Walsh.
Yes. Okay, I'll ask council now for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes, second.
And we motion on the floor properly second to adjourn the next meeting. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Keats.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Riesinger.
Yeah.
Walsh.
Yes.
Eddie.